Change some things here. All right, we are playing a gentleman by the name of Sean Westcott. Again, thanks for watching, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the Waukesha Chess Club Spring Swiss Tournament. Again, if you are new here or you are enjoying this type of content, please like and share on all of your social medias. It does help me out tremendously. It shows me that you really want to see more of this content, and I hope that it's helping you. Let's take a look at round 3 of the Spring Swiss and get into it. I played a gentleman by the name of Sean Westcott, and he is a player that has recently jumped up from a reserve section, and he has come to the club, and he is on his rise and doing really well, playing really well. He realized that he wasn't getting enough competition in the reserve section, which is under 1,000. So I had talked to him. I said, well, why don't you just come up to the open section, and you'll be able to play. You're going to lose a lot more games, but you're going to learn a lot more because you're playing harder people. And you're going to start learning the ideas and how they think if you go analyze your games. Great. Really good idea. So I played my normal Botvinnik English, and we'll get through that setup. Now, he played this particular line of the bishop to c5, and this is not... A lot of people think this is a good move. They're just developing as if I played e5, e4. But this is not good because I haven't. I still have the option to play e3. And that's exactly what happens here. And now that bishop is stuck. It can't do anything. And my next move is going to be up here. And now what are you going to do with your bishop? Your bishop is kind of in a bad place. So he castles. I develop normally because I'm preparing the d4 push. And we get castled to safety. He attacks my pawn, and here I made a mistake. My mistake here is b3. So if you are looking at this right now, those of you that are watching live, tell me what the move is. I'd like to see if you guys can figure out what the move sequence is. If you're watching this on YouTube, pause the video and try to work it out for yourself. I'll give you a moment. Pause the video. I'm going to actually go grab a drink behind me, because I don't want just water. All right, we're going to actually have a tea. Super fruit. All right, we're back. I don't know if you have solved the problem, but this is the problem right here. Attacking the bishop. Bishop has to move, or even if you take, doesn't matter. Whichever way you want to do it, doesn't matter. We're attacking the bishop has to move. If it takes, we want a bishop. If they take, and we get this one. Yep, that is the move, d4, but what's the follow-up? So there's the move. Now if they move, we add a new variation. That's the move, and now we fork 2 pieces. And you wouldn't believe how many times and how many games I get this. I've actually shown this in other videos before against other people. This happens all the time. People like moving their bishop to c4. This is one of the traps in the opening that you have to be careful of. And you win a piece right out of the opening. So I missed that here. For some reason, I had I guess a memory lapse. I've played that particular move multiple times, but I was on some sort of autopilot for some reason, and I just played b3, and then I got up and walked away, and I came back to the table, and he played d5, and I was like, oh man, really? I totally missed it. And now I've lost it, but I can still play it. Many flank plan openings have seen this. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely, yeah. I would assume you see this in the bird, yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome. It happens a lot. And whenever you see these 2 pieces that are only a square apart, you have to be thinking, how can I get a pawn there as quickly as possible? Easiest way to do that is to attack a piece, because then they have to move the piece, and then you get to just push on through. So, but he played d5, which I thought was an interesting try, and I attacked his bishop anyways. And we have an exchange of pawns, and now he still has the same problem. He has to move his bishop at this point, and he has a couple of options. Now, bishop to b4 might be a good way to go, but that has some problems. If he comes here, we have this, this, and this, and now you've lost your bishop. So you can't come forward. He has to come back. If he comes back to here as a new variation, we're just going to push on, and we're going to stuff his bishop again. He's going to have to move back again. But he was clever, and he caught that, and he came back to bishop to e7. And I thought, well, I'm a positionally minded player. I like to stop my opponents from doing things. And I thought to myself, oh, well, this bishop is kind of stuck. This bishop is kind of stuck. Let's lock it down more. And I did it with c5. I don't know if it's the best move here, but I felt as though it probably was a pretty good move. Now this bishop has no squares, has nowhere to go. This bishop is severely limited. It can come here or here, and in some cases even here if I'm not careful, if he does this. But he didn't do any of that, and he came here anyways. And I thought to myself, oh, well, now I have an option to attack that piece. So let me improve a piece with tempo, because now I can, if he doesn't do anything about it, I can win a bishop for a knight. And I'm getting the bishop pair. And I happen to like having the bishop pair. So I feel like positionally this is a good way to go, even though I kind of locked down the center a little bit. He played b6, and I took his bishop. And here it gets really bad. He has to deal with all kinds of things. And I'm not exactly sure. We analyzed and did a postmortem on this, and we looked at this move here. And I don't think that move's any better than what he played, because now he's got this weakness on the king side. I'm going to pile up on that pawn, and he's got a lot of trouble. So I think the first thing that I might try to do is either take care of that issue. We saw something. One of the moves I was thinking was this one. Now he can't move that pawn, but then he can take here. And I'm not sure that I like that. So I think the idea that I thought of, actually I don't remember what I thought of, to be honest with you. I think I just decided to go here right away, overwrite. He's got to deal with this because my next move's coming here, and then he's going to be hit with that fork. That's what it was. So yeah, that's rough. So he did this, and I moved the rook over anyways, attacking his piece, and now he has to move. And here I had some trouble trying to come up with a plan. I got what I wanted. I had traded off a knight for a bishop. And what I'd like to do is somehow displace that knight tactics wise, because this bishop is under attack by my rook. So if I can get this knight to move, I should be good. Whoops. And so I pushed b4 with the idea of playing b5. And he was smart, and he protected his bishop. He saw it coming, and I played it anyways. And he brought his knight in. Okay, perfect. I kind of expected this to happen because the next move was the move that I thought was going to be completely winning, which was this one. Taxes queen, he's got to deal with it, and now I can force a bunch of trades. I don't know that there's any better options than the way he played it. There might be, but I certainly haven't seen any when I analyze this game. So the idea being he's going to come here, and I saw this position, and I thought, okay, this is okay for me, because worst case scenario, I can trade the queens and then bring my knight back, or my rook back, and he's going to trade and get his bishop pair, and then I think I'm going to have a winning position. This was the sequence that I saw. Okay. And I thought that this was a good position for me. I have this long diagonal. I'm going to win that pawn, and things are good. So his bishop is kind of weak, but I saw that from here. Actually, from back here. I thought, okay, he's going to come on in. And I thought, well, maybe he'll go back, and then if he does, then I'm going to trap his knight. But when he came here, I saw that other stuff, but I was like, oh, is there any way to trap the queen? And I could not find one. There was no way that I could trap the queen. I couldn't find a way. Because now it's kind of in a box, and if I can make it so he cannot trade my queen, but his queen is stuck, and not take my knight, I feel like I've got really good chances. So one of the sequences that I was looking at was this new variation. But no matter what I saw, he was able to come right here. And I could just take. And then he also always had to come back here as well. So I couldn't work it out. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to play the sequence I saw. Now, maybe there is a way to trap it, but I don't see one. Yeah, I looked at so many different things. And then I also saw him potentially coming in here like this, and I didn't like any of that. So I said, all right, we're just going to trade this stuff off, and then we're going to go from there. So I got to the point where I wanted, and I said, okay, well, now we're going to reset and come up with new plans. So now I'm heading towards an end game, and I feel like I've got a better game. Mainly because I'm probably most likely controlling the open file. He played here, and I found a really good move because he should not have taken here. This was a mistake. And I took here. Knight takes d5, threatening the weak piece. Now he has to deal with that. So he takes, and I take back, and he has to move his rook. And I saw this from back here. From right here, I calculated all these pieces. So I got my bishop where I want. I get a tempo on the rook. He's got to move his rook. And then I got another tempo on another rook. And now he can't do anything about his bishop, and I win the bishop. So the game's pretty much over at this point. It went on for a little bit. He had some fighting chances, which I will show the end. But yeah, I saw that particular sequence from right here. So 1, 2, 3. A 4-move sequence, which is pretty hard to see. But knowing that the bishop here is stuck and has really no squares, I thought what he would do, because of, I thought he might be able to see this because he's going to get a discovery on this guy if he does anything. It's really tough because if he comes here as a new variation, I'm going to come here with check. He's going to take, and then I'm going to win in exchange. Actually, no, yeah. And now we're just going to win the other rook. Actually, I probably just take here first. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's a winning move no matter what. So yeah, I saw this, and we won the bishop, and I picked up some more pawns. He decided to get his king safe. And I'm just doubling up where it needs to. I didn't understand this. I thought he would just take, and then we would kind of, I'm up 2 pawns at this point, so it's game over anyways. I think he was trying for, I just came back, and he was trying for this sneaky checkmate. But that I saw, because if I don't do anything, let's say I just go here, and he goes here, I cannot stop checkmate, or it's very tough. Probably go here. Actually, whose move? It's my move. So I would go here, and now it's tough. What do I do? You know, next move, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I saw him trying to get some checkmates in, so I stopped that and just moved my king up. So, and then he resigned after that. But yeah, very good game by Sean. Pretty solid. He just didn't see or calculate that particular move, which is a tough move to find. But overall, it was a very good game. Sean played great, and I picked up my first win. So after round 3, I'm now 1-2. So I'm still under 50%. So we're going into round 4 as still behind. Okay, so yeah, good game by Sean. I enjoyed it pretty well, and he put up a good fight, and we had a really great postmortem over it. So we had a really good discussion afterwards, which was great. I got to hear some of his thoughts, and he got to hear some of mine. So I think it was really good for him and good for me.